I think hipsters are really cool, actually. I think they're on the right path. You know, letting things just grow naturally. That's it. I mean, I think we just need to teach them how to wear turbans now, really. You know what I mean?
The UK urban music scene is more vibrant than ever, with new artists coming through of every type from every background. A few are open about their religion and not afraid to express their faith through their music. In this film, we will be following 3 of them, a Christian, a Muslim and a Sikh, as they start to make inroads into the mainstream. NoNameDisciple is a 23-year-old Christian. When she's not making music, she's studying for a theology degree at a small religious university in Berkshire.
I don't go out anymore, so it's meeting people. I do meet people, but I now won't have sex before marriage. You tell a guy that, he's like, what are you talking about? It's always, if you've had it before, you do miss certain aspects, but I try not to think or walk in the flesh, but walk in the spirit, which is scripture. So yeah, I try. Like every month I try to upload a freestyle onto Instagram. And I normally find a beat and then write to it and then upload stuff.
I roll where the belly's at. Lipo, I'm a belly that. Disciple, I'm a heavy that.
I'll always find the beat before the lyrics most of the time. I feel like the beat gives me a bit of a knowing of what I'm gonna write. So like for this one, they're trying to pull me past the pools of kindness, and God so loved the world that he gave up his only child, and they're bringing shade when I'm talking about his son. I hold the spirit I was given, flesh will never satisfy me. Don't be a sheep, who you following? Time is not yours, we're just borrowing. I swear I spend too much time. And then it goes on and on and on and on. That's quite a long one, but yeah, that's what I normally do. Depends, sometimes it's like fully about God in like the whole, like everything, and sometimes it's about morals, but I'll always bring God in it. I'll always sprinkle a bit of that spiritual stuff onto it, but it depends on the angle I want to take, so.
No Name hasn't always had her faith, but found it as she overcame her troubled younger years.
I just had a very destructive, chaotic life, and my mum just saw that I was just going downhill, and she sent me to a Christian thing in Serbia. I met someone there, and basically she told me all about God in an amazing way that I hadn't heard before, and that was the beginning of me understanding that there was potentially a God. Before I found God, my life was a mess. I drank too much, way too much, like it was a problem. I was just chaotic and very horrible person, so yeah, it was empty. I have quite a big gig coming up, so I'm not sure how it will go down, but hopefully they'll like the message.
Muslim musician Khaled Siddiq is recording a video in Morocco for his new single, a track his team believe could take him from religious singer to commercial star.
In Morocco, in Fez, mashallah, look at this beautiful view. I've never seen anything like this before, so I'm just taking it all in right now. Beautiful, man. You get a good reflective shot, you know, this. Right, really quick, yeah? Pause it. As a mindset thing, yeah, sometimes it's hard to elicit the emotions, it's like, it's a bit weird. Think about the kid, yeah, that's like, he feels shy to be a Muslim, it's like not really cool at the moment, or even to celebrate the Mawlid, and he's going to be looking at like each and every one, and then what's going to happen psychologically is going to be a mad thing. So picture that kid, or even the kid within you and that was struggling to be identified and feel who they were, and it's like, yo, listen, we're Muslim, we do this thing and we're not shy at all. So like, hallelujah. When you feel like, oh, whatever, just let that come out, inshallah.
Yes.
You know what I mean, yeah?
Praise the messenger and he respond back.
It was him that got me into music. He was always like, he always knew I could like sing and rap. So like he was always like, oh, like do this. But again, I was very lazy. So obviously with time, and he like nurtures me a little bit as well because I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, so it's good.
ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الليل إذا سجى.
She went really well, the vibes were there, because it's such a good, happy, upbeat song, and I really wanted the video to capture that. The visuals are so important for music videos. My job is to convey that message the best way possible, and in the most clearest terms possible, and not excluding anyone or making anyone feel like they're not part of it, just making it as most universally accepted as possible. So yeah, it's definitely something I'm transitioning towards.
When Khaled returns to the UK, he'll be gearing up for a performance of his most mainstream material to date, even though he knows he may face a backlash from some within his own community. At a studio in East London, Sikh rapper Jagga is working with major grime producer Savak on his second single. Jagga only recently started making music after the tragic death of his baby son 9 months ago.
That sounds so. That's what I need.
At the last 4.
Oh, okay, the last one, yeah.
The last one. So after you say that,
Carrying my identity and with the turban, with the beard, I can still be who I want to be, spiritually, religiously, look the way I want to look, but I'm still the same as you, as the wider audience. You know, the people that, you know, religion's not for them. Hip hop is something that I can really relate to now with the East and the West balance. I'm bringing my language, Punjabi, over to the hip hop kind of vibe. I believe that I can make these two meet.
not only is he a unique individual, but he brings his own style. And the tongue of the Punjabi he uses is not like the tongue of another young Punjabi artist or somebody that's just learning Punjabi because he's developed, he knows his Punjabi.
And my other mother tongue, I'll always say, is English. So, I mean, at some point we'll bring both of them together and then fireworks. You know, from never being in a studio, never ever singing, never ever doing rap or music, to releasing a track and meeting people like Savak who are well known in the industry. I'm living my dream and we are about to make things happen.
It's true.
And I believe my son had died and this has given birth a new journey. So this is all down to him, and I'll always keep that in my heart, you know.
As the first anniversary of the death of his son approaches, Jagga is finally ready to channel the painful experience into his music with the release of his first solo project. Before the show in Glasgow, NoName has travelled to her hometown of Cardiff to catch up with some old friends and work on some new beats.
Hola papi español, boricua head man ayo. There ain't been man in the bando. Legs and breasts go to Nando's. You gon' go step in the shadows. Wait.
It sounds weird, but she brings like this innocence to like the music. It's like she writes like amazing music, and then as soon as she finishes, she's like really, I don't know, it's almost like you're shy about your music. It's almost like you're quite shy about it, but then as soon as like you listen back to it, it's like, this is nuts.
I'll just keep that going. How long have you been coming here?
About 6-7 years, since I was like 15.
Right, and that was when Evander just started making his bedroom into a studio.
Yeah, right.
And he didn't really have anything that you could call a studio, but it was a place where everybody could chill. It was better than hanging around on the street corners.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, what do you think you're doing? You know, because people didn't encourage you.
Yeah.
They thought you were all a bit different and a bit quirky and a bit weird. But you all had a plan. You all knew where you were going. And I think maybe you're arriving now.
Khaled previously rejected instruments due to many Islamic scholars condemning their musical use. However, after doing much research of his own, he's now willing to explore.
1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So initially, I used vocals only type beats where I would deconstruct songs and create each and every individual instrument with my mouth. There was a kind of consensus within the Muslim community that musical instruments were wrong and they were haram, and I was of the same opinion. So I thought in order to appease the Muslim community, I would then give them an alternative, which was beatboxing, which is obviously no instruments, it's just my voice.
Yo, before I start this verse, I think it's best that I say, I ain't pious, I ain't righteous, I ain't one of
the success that I was gaining through that, then there was some Muslims that were saying that even that was wrong. And then I was like, what? I thought this was okay. And it was through their persistent dissatisfaction with everything I was putting out, what made me have to look into myself. If anything that just sounds like an instrument's bad, is singing even okay? So the direction I'm taking with my music now is one that's coming away from terminology-based music, which helped me in the beginning because it connected me with an audience which I was trying to appeal to, which was Muslims. But the direction I'm taking now is one where I'm trying to be all-inclusive, and that doesn't always go down well with people.
Back in his hometown of Birmingham, Jagga is heading to the studio to put the finishing touches on a new track.
So I grew up around here, born and bred. It's very difficult being in school. I was one of the only kids with a turban, and I really used to get bullied all the time. People just didn't know, what the turban was, who a Sikh was. So now, through music, just being there as an image as a Sikh, and having a turban, having a beard, I stick out like a sore thumb, you know what I mean? So just standing there, looking the way I do, being blessed, by the Guru and stuff, that'll be enough education for people, for them to ask questions like, who is that guy? What is he? Why has he got a beard? Why has he got a turban? You know what I mean? So.
Shadow on the Beat is a major grime producer in Birmingham and produced Jagga's first single, Like Kings.
Shadow. Boom.
Same, bro.
Main man. Shadow on the Beat.
Wow.
Elijah.
Bro.
This is where it happens, so I feel like home here, relax.
Basically Jagga hit me up on the Instagram, social media. He says, yo, Shadow, I'm feeling you vibe. I like your work. I knew this guy is a soulful person. I could see instantly, so I thought let's put some vibes together, and that's how it kind of started. Basically, he's a spiritual guy, and so myself, the way I've been uprooted. So.
Logic, man, yeah. Running it proper.
Yeah, not with beats on here though.
What we need to do is add a little bit to that.
Yeah.
And earlier what I heard, I think that's banging, but we don't want to go away too much from this vibe, do you know what I'm saying? Last year, 2017, it was proper hard for me, difficult losing my son, and I like to say Shadow, he helped me a lot. I'd literally come here, we'll be recording our track and everything, but even in between, I'll be sitting here for hours. Shadow's a man of not many words, but when he did speak, it was always helping me, you know what I mean? And not only that, he used to just listen. Sometimes you just need somebody just to listen, and just to hear you, kind of thing. And he done that. So I'll always thank this guy. He proper helped me out and stuff. So we're gonna show the world what we can do.
It's the night of NoNameDisciple show in Glasgow. She sees her gigs as sermons, so she spends a few minutes in prayer before each show.
Dear Lord and Heavenly Father, I come into your presence. God, I first ask you that you forgive any sins that I've committed today. It's very easy to become egotistical and to think it's about me, but it's nothing to do with me, it's all to do with you, and you're the one who's given me this ability to do what I do, and I pray that I can remain my focus upon you at all times. And if at any point my mind strays, I pray, Lord, you put me on track again. I pray all this in the mighty name of Jesus, amen. It's so different when you pray, just like there's nothing else. Like I have business doing except praying, so I just pray because it's like ministry to me. This isn't just, music isn't just like an art form to me, it's ministry, so prayer is key. Yeah, actually I'm excited. I'm tired, but excited. Like the vibe here is like next level, so I'm excited. Oh yeah. Right. Ready. Okay. I'm good to go. Into days, we're talking cycles like a tidal wave of waves. Fix your thoughts upon your thoughtful race. The South's like a safari with them birds. The wolf packs at the parties in their thirds. Sip on purple perp without a purpose. Negroes want their freedom, they deserve it. I pray the sevens get their blessings, and I pray the sixes get exposed, obsessing over pushing up agendas for the predisposed. Be pushing daisies up before you push your passion. It's so taken. Use your mind. You won't give credit. No. Thank you again. That's so crazy. There and over there as well. OG.
They're like away from being like good night to being like just a rapid night. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking kill it. Like seriously.
So, but actually, when I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual, and I can appreciate authenticity. And
yeah, so long as someone's practicing what they preach, then I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
the response to have people like actually genuinely want to hear it is mad. When I'm just talking about Jesus and I'm like talking about how the devil's a waste man, and then afterwards when people are coming to me talking about how they want to get to know about God or something, or like they want to grow in their spirituality, or a lot of people have said, oh, my little sister would benefit from your music because morally you're talking about women and sort of valuing yourself. So like to me it's just really mad.
Tonight, Khaled is in Reading, where he'll be performing some reggae-themed songs. Whilst he finally feels he's making the music he wants, it's always hard to predict how his core Muslim audience will receive it.
When I first came out, the Muslim community was very happy with me. They kind of held me up there as like the golden boy. And as time went on, it started to feel like I couldn't really accept that title anymore because it just didn't really feel genuine. And the lyrics and the music I was writing, it didn't feel genuine anymore. I started questioning things more, and I started looking into things more and trying to be more genuine to myself, and that doesn't always go down well with people. So in a lot of the comments on YouTube and Instagram and social media, a lot of it was to do with my culture. So people would say, oh, look at the way he moves his arm, it's like a thug, it's like a gangster. Oh, what is the key thing here? Oh, okay, I'm black. So now I see the part that they're putting together now is a black guy and he's rapping, so it's just a gangster now. So that kind of made things a lot more clear as to me not taking things as personally, because racism is definitely not something that's excluded from Islam. It's definitely well within there, and it's in the community, and it's a big problem that we all have to kind of deal with and trying to get past. And because everything that my faith teaches me is to be open to everyone, People should just be able to see the light and recognize it. They don't have to speak a certain language. They have to wear a certain type of dress to recognize it. So with my music, the direction I'm taking now is one where I'm trying to be all-inclusive of everyone the best way I can. Islam is a message at the end of the day. And I feel that there's so many traces of Islamic messages throughout music all across the world.
Rise up this morning, prayed my salah one time, the liquor beds.
So Bob Marley, for example, someone would listen to a song like Three Little Birds and say, oh, here's an Islamic song. But if you listen to that song and the words, what else is he talking about except Islamic principles of just being happy and not worrying? And when you confine your religion to just a certain circumstance, then what happens when I take that away from you? When you don't have your beard, you don't have your thobe, you don't have your mosque, like what is your religion gone now? If that's all it was, then what was it to begin with? What we worship is beyond Mao, it's beyond, it's God. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do with the music.
I really like Khaled. I like the way he merged the urban music into Islam. He's mixed the cultures together.
You kind of get to know a bit more about Khaled's culture, his background, where he's from.
Definitely got a lot to offer, not just to the Muslim community, but I think he can really cross a lot of boundaries.
It's almost a challenge from God. It's change will happen, and no one likes change. A few people like me and others that are trying to overcome it so that people can go and make their own path, and go find their own way. And if anything that I'm doing is helping that, then I see that as a win.
On the eve of the anniversary of his son's death, and with the recording of his first EP almost complete, Jagga returns to the place where his musical journey began, for the first time since his son passed away.
In March 2017, I lost my baby boy. He had sepsis. It was a massive shock, massive shock. And literally the day he died was the day that I, went for a drive, parked up in a location, like there's a little lake, kind of pond kind of thing where I used to sit down, reflect on things. So I went there, started listening to music, all different types of artists and stuff. And then all of a sudden I thought, hang on, let me write something. Let me start writing, thought let me try. So I started writing a few bars, and all of a sudden, got a beat, started rapping to it, and I thought, hang on, this can work. And that was it. So I believe my son is the inspiration. Because of him going, this was born. I want to be a good father to my son. He's not around, but 100% he's with me. He's always here. I always feed him, so from the bottom of my heart, I want to do the best I can, not only for my son, but for my people. So I'm about to upload a track right now. It's been produced and finished by Savak. It's because of my son, his inspiration. There's been an overwhelming amount of positivity, so I love it. So all I have to do right now is just press upload, and this track's ready. It's ready to go. So yeah, let's do it.
What's it called?
Dream.
It's mad, straight mad. From I went the long way and never came back.
We're living in a dark world. Chicks get applause for twerking, never for the smart girl.
Show me love and I got your back.
Stuck up in the hallway, I never made jack.
I see brothers insecure without their pops now. Never know the value of commitment, so they cop out.
Game recognise game, better recognise me.
No Name, Khalid and Jagga are all as fervent about their faith as they are their music. For them, their religious beliefs are not obstacles to their careers, but blessings. However, they don't just want their music to preach to the converted, but to anybody who cares to listen to their story and get down to their beats.